Billy T. Detroit Radio. News, sports, entertainment, and a little foolishness.
Just a little foolishness. Just a little bit. What's up, Detroit? It's your man, Billy T. Billy T. Detroit Radio. This is show number 86. And special guest in the studio today, actor, comedian, Mr. Brian Hooks is in the building. How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing excellent, man. I can't complain. I'm out here in Detroit, you know what I mean? Just taking it all in.
There you go. How you like it so far?
I'm loving it so far. I'm trying to see everything there is to see before I leave.
Well, it's a little bit to see. Detroit's a whole new city now. I don't know when the last time you was here.
A long time, decades.
Okay, well, yeah, it's changed a lot. Let's go back.
Okay.
You've been in this business for a minute.
Yes.
How long you been in the entertainment business?
It's been, I used to say 20 years, but I think it's been like 10 years since I said 20 years. You know what I mean? Time creep up on you like that.
It really does.
So it about 20 plus years, I would say like maybe like about 20, 25.
What was the first thing you did in the entertainment business?
The first movie I did was called Phat Beach.
Phat Beach.
Yes. Beach with Jermaine Huggy Hopkins from Juice, Lean on Me. And the director and writer of that film is actually the creator of Entourage.
Okay.
And before then, man, I was going to Cal State Northridge in school, and I kept a theater class there. Because I'm born and raised in Bakersfield. There ain't no acting opportunities.
Not a lot in Bakersfield.
No. So when I
used to ride past Bakersfield, going from Vegas to L.A. all the time.
Yeah, you threw a can, you emptied, soda can out the door, and you kept going, at the clock. And so when I moved to Los Angeles, running around in college, I would keep a theater class in addition to my, regular classes because moms and pops wasn't sending me to college.
For theater?
No. You do no acting. You do something tangible. Yeah. You're going to teach. You're going to be a doctor. You're going to be a little something. None of that, you know what I mean? So I would add it. Once I had my classes, I would add that elective. Extra.
Now, let me ask you this. Being from California, is that a thing? For people in California, I got to do movies, I got to do acting, I got to do. Is it something in the water out there?
Here's the thing: the people who make up that whole LA, when people think of LA, they're not from LA. Mm-hmm. Real LA people, not so much. The people who are born and raised there, they're doing other stuff because they know they have an idea of how difficult that journey is and how endless that journey is. But it's mostly made up of a bunch of people from across the country who were the best or the coolest or the sexiest in their town. Who's like, girl, you can make it.
You can do it.
Yes. And then they move to LA and they like, oh, snap. This is hard. So I would say no, but most of those people who's like, I'm staying in L.A., I'm from L.A., they're not really from L.A.
Right,
they migrated there from other cities.
But a lot of people from California, other cities in California migrate there.
Yeah, so but it is something about it being in your backyard and something
makes
you
it a little
can do
easier
without having to,
travel across the country.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm leaving home, so you might sign your kid up to do a little modeling and commercials because it's convenient.
And it's right there. I mean, but being from Bakersfield, it's like if things get tough, you can always go back home.
Right.
It's a short drive.
Yeah, hour and a half right over the Grapevine past Magic Mountain. You good.
So what does it take to make it in Hollywood? It's got to be something that when people come out, like you say, it's overwhelming. Everybody doesn't make it. Mm-hmm. What does it take to make it in Hollywood?
It's just a certain type of drive you have to have, and commitment.
Okay,
and honestly, it has to be even a selfishness to it because and I'm not like that, which is make my journey so much more difficult because I don't think I'm built for Hollywood. You know what I mean? My beliefs, my morals, my. You know what I mean?
You got to have some.
Yeah. And so.
Are you saying it's a soulless town? Is that
exactly? It's the one town where having morals is a negative.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? Let's not stab him in the back. You know what I mean? But we're gonna get the deal. All we have to do is but he can't
get rid of this guy.
Yeah, but he can't go with us further. You know what I mean? So it's the people who are willing to say screw you, who somehow elevate up the scale. You know what I mean?
It's kind of a sad statement, really.
It really is. Like, you look at the stuff that happening with Weinstein. This is one of the biggest producers in Hollywood that everybody was chasing until he got in trouble. Then everybody wanted to back, but everybody knew what he was doing for years.
I was going to say,
said anything.
Is that a situation where it's like, okay, we've had enough of this guy, he's got to go?
No, it's a situation where he got exposed by the wrong person in a time of social media where you can't just smother that. You know what I mean? You remember a time when something happened in Detroit, nobody in L.A. knew about it.
Right.
The newspaper, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now something happened in China, we know about it that same day. And
it's global.
Yeah, and so it's just a wildfire to where it was like people couldn't deny, okay, he did that.
And you say everybody knew anyway. This is what I've heard.
Yeah.
Was that like just a known thing in Hollywood?
It's a difficult town, and that's why my journey has been longer, because I refuse to divulge in the nonsense. And people be like, "Where you at? What you doing?" Like, I'm on the path, and I'm gonna get there. I just want to be able to look at myself in the mirror once I get to where I want to be. You see a lot of these actors and entertainers, you're like, "What's wrong with them? They made it. They should be happy." But at the end of the day, when you look at yourself in the mirror and you think about all the stuff you did that you don't believe in to get there, that you hope your kids don't find out about when they get older, it weighs on you.
Is that point. What it is? That's why
exactly
they're not happy.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
And also, entertainment attracts a certain type of individual, a very insecure individual. As big as the platform they are on and people look up to them, it's a very insecure personality it attracts. So if in Hollywood, success doesn't solve any of your personal problems.
Okay.
They magnify them. Mm-hmm. So if you drink a little bit before you make it,
you're drinking a lot.
You're going to drink a lot of bit. You know what I mean? You do a little bit of drugs, you're going to be overdosing. We're going to hear about it on TMZ.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you insecure now, you're going to be insecure when you're on that big stage. And so it's just a very funny, goofy town. But I've managed to carve out a little space to where, like I tell you, it's a long road. Everybody taking them shortcuts. And you know what I mean? But it's a long road. But I feel good about the path that I own and where I'm going. And then when I get there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I can sleep tidy at night.
We're talking to Mr. Brian Hooks, actor, comedian, and you're more of a comedic actor.
Right.
Who is now taking on the stage of
Correct.
stand-up comedy.
Correct.
Some of the things you've been in, we talked about Eve.
Yeah, Eve
which
show.
was a great
Eve
show. I love that show.
Talking about rebooting it, they are.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yep.
Yeah. Soul Plane.
Soul Plane
with your man Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
That was a big move for him. He was brand new when that came out.
Yeah.
And it blew up from there.
Not after that. After that, Soul Plane, we were all in it. Monique,
Hughley, that's right.
Everybody. We were all in there.
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg was
the
in
pilot.
there. Yep. Sofia Vergara.
Was she?
Was in it? Yes, she was.
What's his name? Tom Arnold?
Tom Arnold,
yeah.
Yes. It was a lot of us in there, and the movie got, that's when bootleg went to another level.
Okay.
And they always joke.
Oh, that was a big bootleg movie?
That was the most bootlegged film in history.
Really?
They say, yeah.
Everybody wanted it, but didn't want to admit they wanted it. I'll take a bootleg copy.
Everybody had that movie before it came out.
Oh,
everybody,
man.
Long, and that's
one of those, on the low, one of those cult classics kind of.
Yeah. And then, it took a lot of heat, like, oh, what are these films? But it was an airplane. It was an urban airplane.
It was
you know
fun.
what I mean? Which
it was
everybody
fun.
enjoyed for years. Oh, airplane. And they made an urban one, and sometimes people get a little sensitive.
I liked it. I didn't know what to expect. It was a fun movie, and it had a little message in it.
Right. It was exactly what it was supposed to be. It was a comedy. It was over-the-top comedy.
Over the top, yeah. So from there, so some of the other films you've been in. We said Black Beach.
Phat Beach.
Phat Beach.
With Jermaine Hopkins.
And by the way, my man Trey Black did some of the music on that.
Yes.
And he was working in L.A. at the time.
92.3 The Beat.
Yeah. I've worked with him here at a couple different stations.
Trey was the man. Trey was the man. Yeah. Good dude. Real good dude.
Yep.
We did High School High.
Okay.
John Lovitz, Tia Carrere, Mekhi Phifer, Melinda Williams. We were all in that. What else, man?
You've been in here's the thing. Brian Hooks has the familiar face and voice and when you see him, you go, "Oh, that guy, yeah." And you're okay with that.
I'm very okay with that.
And,
you know what I mean?
But you say you're more behind the scenes now, producing, directing, what?
It was just an organic, progression to where I, just had the knack to where I started stepping up and making my films. And as I was saying, it was me and my buddy. We just stepped out on a whim and we made this small film called Q for like $13,000. And it ended up making like $800,000. And from there, we found the niche to where we could do these smaller independent films and sort of not have to wait on anyone and be able to move friendly. And so we were making them for like on average for $250,000, and they were doing like $1 million to a few
not
million.
A bad return.
Yeah, and that's what's really honestly started the big straight to DVD boom. Even studios who seen those numbers were like, "Whoa, some of these films we're not planning on doing a part 2 to, but."
Maybe
we didn't have the overhead of going to theatrical, and that's when you started to see that. And so it was just like a natural progression, and having to wear so many hats when you're making them for a small budget. I was learning so much, and I realized it to the point to where I am now, where I can make a film with, my eyes closed, one hand tied behind my back. You know what I mean? Because I had to.
And, that seems to be the route now. A lot of independent films popping up. A lot of people in Detroit are making movies. A friend of mine actually has a premiere this weekend of her film. That's a grind.
Yes, it is. It's
and people have to be all in when they're in that.
All in.
To be a part of that.
Yeah, film, like you see a film, you be like, "Oh, that's cool," but you don't know the work, the 12 months, 9 months, 18 months that went into putting that film together. And it's a very independent time in the industry right now. You know what I mean? It used to be maybe not so cool, but now
it's
most
trendy.
of the things, it's trend, and it's and they're very open. Hollywood is open to independent. Everybody is open to independent and looking at it as if it was a studio film if you make it that hot.
Now, when you do these independent films, do you have to take them to the film festivals and things like that, or you just put them out there?
At this point in my career, I have the option of doing what I want. I have several distributors who are always looking for content from me, and you have the film festival route. And with me, it depends on the film. Sometimes I make if I'm making a Soul Plane or a Friday type film, that's not a festival film so much. You know what I mean? So you send it directly to consumer. But if we're doing something, say like Juicy and Bebe are these characters of this film I'm doing that have these broken characters, but it's a comedy, sort of a dramedy. That's something that does extremely well in the festivals. So it's just a business, standpoint you have to approach it to and see, does it make sense to you to do the festival route or not?
Yeah. What was that movie? And I think you were either out of jail or something, and you were running all through L.A. trying to get home. And
3 Strikes.
That was the silliest movie, but it was fun to watch.
Man, they never stopped running that film. It's constantly on TV. People are constantly hitting me like, "Yo, when you gonna do a part 2?" And recently, I'm about to do this ensemble romantic comedy that I wrote, produced, directed, either in Thailand or Anguilla with or Dominican Republic, with Queen Latifah's company.
Okay.
And Shakim, her partner, we are now in the process of figuring out the part 2 to 3 Strikes, which everybody seems to want. So so you might be seeing the part 2 to 3 Strikes. So
anybody that you want to work with that you haven't had a chance to?
Who do I want to work with that I haven't?
Any dream catch that I'd love to get this person in one of my films?
Yeah, there's several people that that I love. I'm just a fan as well as being inside it. But I've always been like with the old school cats. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a big Jim Carrey fan.
Okay.
I love Gabriel Iglesias, the comic. You know what I mean? Damian Wayans. I've always been a huge fan of him. But if I had one, shot, man, I would want to be across from Denzel.
Boom.
You know what I mean?
There it is.
Like Leonardo DiCaprio. If I can get those 2 cats,
man.
You know what I mean? So I can go back and forth with them. That would be nice.
Yeah. I can see you in Equalizer 3 as his buddy. You can be the comedic relief in that.
Yeah, the little carry-along cousin.
Right.
And
he's like, "Kid, go away.
Out of trouble. Yeah.
You're going to get hurt."
I got this.
Oh, that would be the ultimate, though.
Yeah. What does this do?
Yeah. And now Denzel's son is acting.
Yes, he is.
He just walked right in. Spike Lee said, Spike Lee said, no, I didn't interview him. I just sent him the book.
Yeah.
He liked it. Said, come on, let's do the movie.
I guess he his daddy.
That opens a few doors.
He old his daddy. He old.
He even sounds like his father.
He does. I was listening in some of his monologues. I haven't seen the film, but I was saying,
but in the trailer, I said, wait a minute, he sounds like it.
Yeah, I hear his dad in it.
Yeah, that ain't a bad thing.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Yeah, that's nice.
Brian Hooks, actor, comedian. How do you make the transition from film and television? And you were not a stand-up comic.
No.
You were an actor.
Yes.
And now you're trying this stand-up thing.
Yes.
And a lot of people say it's the most frightening thing in the world.
Absolutely, 1,000%. There's no doubt about that. If you ever go on stage, no matter how much you loved comedy or thought you respected comedy, you'll have a newfound respect once you go up there. It's the toughest form of comedy. There's no safety net.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if it goes bad, with acting and stuff, it's like, oh,
cut, redo it.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's reset, powder you down. You don't see it until it's perfect. Stand-up comedy, you go out there on any given night, and it can go really bad. And you 10 minutes in and you up there for an hour, it's going to be a long night.
What was it like the first time you stepped on stage?
The first time I stepped on stage, well, see, I always been, I'm a smart dude. So I knew better than to just go up there.
If you must say so yourself.
Yeah, you're right. I knew better than that. And so I worked out with a coach and took some class and learned the art.
Oh, really?
Of comedy with David Arnold. He teaches a class called The Art of Comedy in Los Angeles. And so it gives you a sense of what you're trying to accomplish, opposed to going up there
cold
and just, I'll do anything to get you guys to laugh. I slip on a banana peel. What do you got? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's not going to work out.
Okay.
And so I found the foundation and knew what I was trying to do, opposed to just going up there and just sort of swimming out. And so I took that route. But the first time he said, okay, you guys are going to go out. You're going to go to the open mic. You're going to do 5 minutes. You're going to record it.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, when I tell you those lights were probably bright as this, but it felt like somebody had a police light in my face for 10 minutes, which for 5 minutes. And the 5 minutes
felt like an hour.
Yeah. And that's being kind. It felt so long up there. And I was out of my body, and it was scary.
How did you do? Do you remember?
I don't remember the moment because I literally was outside of myself watching, and it's like, and so, but it was at an open mic in at a comfortable place, and it wasn't comfortable. It was comfortable as it can get, but it wasn't comfortable for me being up there and being exposed. Right. It was scary, and I did okay. Mm-hmm. I did okay.
Well, now part of it is they kind of know you, so that helps a little bit. You've already established as an actor.
It's a gift and a curse because they know, like, you do, like, I love you.
He's funny. I like
you,
that's my
man.
guy.
I grew up to you. I can't wait to see you on stage.
Okay,
like, but wait a
little
minute.
more pressure.
This is a little different. Let's talk. You know what I mean? So it was that I could never go out and grow on stage. When they see me, I want you to be what I saw on the tape, on the DVD, online. So it was like true. I always had to come with it. And so, again, I did the homework and I prepared and I worked out and I knew I had material. So when I stepped on stage, I knew the material worked.
And you were ready.
I was ready.
What kind of material do you? What is your genre? What do you kind of comedy do you do on stage?
I'm a storyteller.
Okay.
And it's storytellers about me personal, and it's my personal opinion. Like I was married and divorced. I talk a lot about that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I talk about my kids. You know what I mean? The insanity and how much I don't like them. I love them, but I don't like them.
You don't like them. Wait, you got to break that down, man. Come on now.
I got a bad batch.
You got a bad batch. They didn't work out too good.
They at the age now, because it's a certain age where you know they ain't gonna make it. And mine's are at that age. They 6, 3, and 1.
And already you know.
I know. I look in their eyes. I don't see no depth.
They ain't got it.
They ain't gonna make it.
So you clown your kids.
Yeah. And I let them know. They be like, Daddy, what you be saying about us? I can't say because you can't curse in front of you. But I talk about, you know what I mean? You
real
say
life.
all the things, like your kids, you love them, but you can go on stage and say all the things you can't really say, and people think like, oh, he's kidding, but I'm not, but I am, you know? I go, whatever you believe, I'm fine with it. And so I talk about that. I talk about myself, but it's all, storytelling about events in my life that may not have been funny when they were happening.
Okay.
But in hindsight, once you move past, it's like, yeah, that's kind of funny.
Okay.
That stuff that's funny when it's not you.
Right.
And so that's me on stage, man.
All right. Brian Hooks hanging out with us on Billy T. Detroit Radio. And who have you worked with? Who the person you enjoyed the most working with?
The person I enjoyed the most working with was probably on the set of Eve. A lot of sitcoms, they're together when the cameras are rolling, but after work they split. We finished working 10-hour day. We'd all go out and eat together for 3 or 4 more hours.
Okay.
We were inseparable. So we actually really, really liked together. And that family, that unity, that fun that we had, like we had more fun offset than we did on set. And we had a lot of fun on the show. And so I would say those group right there, we just really, really, really had a good time.
That's good, man. When you can work with people and still enjoy them.
Yeah, like
that means a lot. And it does come across. I mean, it felt like you guys liked each other.
And we did.
Yeah.
We did. So it was crazy. I got to go home, y'all. We got to be back.
We got to be back in the morning.
At 7 in the morning. And we're like, what are we doing?
We can't hang out all night.
Right. We've just been together 10 hours. Y'all want to hang out some more, but I'm going to see you again at 7.
Right.
But that was who we were. That was our group.
It was a great cast, man.
We had
great
fun,
show.
man. We had fun. Like I say, they're talking about rebooting that. So
let's hope.
Yeah.
Let's hope. Mr. Hooks, I want to thank you for coming in and hanging out with us for a little bit and sharing your story.
Thanks
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
And much success to you on your stand-up.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Brian Hooks, live on Billy T. Detroit Radio. That is how we do it, baby. Yeah.
Billy T. Detroit Radio. The show's so dope, you might kill some brain cells.
I burned too many brain cells down to be worried about my brain cells now. I burned too many brain cells down to be worried about a brain cell now. I burned too many brain cells down.